A few months ago, I did a walk called the Freycinet Peninsula Circuit. This is located on the east coast of Tasmania and is home to Wineglass Bay, one of the best beaches in the world. Crystal clear waters, you've got mountains right on either side of you, absolutely stunning. Now this walk takes you from the car park around 30-kilometer circuit, 1,500 meters of elevation, and can be done over 2 or 3 days. Before we jump in, we came from Hobart, around 200 kilometers, 2.5 to 3 hours drive. If you want to do what we did, we kind of left in the morning around 7 a.m. We grabbed a coffee, some pastry on the way, grabbed some fuel in Cambridge. It's a pretty good spot to go if you're coming from Hobart. It's a lot of fun. I really hope you enjoy this bit of vlog. And if you've got any questions, send us an email, leave a comment, make sure to like the video, subscribe, it really helps. And yeah, stick around to the end.
The trail kind of changes at a certain point and we're now climbing up granite. Epic views, and yeah, from this point on it's pretty much climbing. Wanted to jump in now and basically just highlight that if it is wet, this becomes like so slippery, and I would recommend not climbing. With like a morning dew, a little dampness, not ideal. But on a day like this when it's completely dry, you're gonna have no struggles. It's just gonna be a big climb, so maybe that's your struggle, the climb, but should be fun. So for example, this is the stuff I'm talking about. This right here, very slippery. And there are kind of like a few ridge lines you could catch with your feet to not slide down, but I wouldn't rely on it. Yeah, but again, look at that. You got epic views the whole way up. Now, more climbing through this terrain here. That part just there was probably the trickiest scramble of the whole walk. So if you were looking at what Calvin was doing just then and thought, oh, I actually don't think I could make it up, something like that, then yeah, reconsider this leg of the Peninsula Circuit or just Mt Amos in general, or just come with someone that might be able to give you a bit of a hand throughout that. It is not sketchy. You just got to be focused, good shoes, no water on the track. You should be good to go from there. We're now pretty close to the top, just up there. Keen for the views. The best views are yet to come.
So the top of Mt Amos, absolutely stunning. There's 2 views that I'd recommend in the whole Freycinet National Park. One is from the top of Mt Amos, the other is from the top of Mt Freycinet. Both are stunning views, and as you can see, Calvin was taking photos the moment that we're up there. He's going and exploring, he climbed this boulder, which I recommend going and doing if you feel comfortable. But yeah, just take your time, maybe have some food up there, be aware that it can be cold. The wind does pick up because you're just completely exposed on the top of a mountain. Take the views in from Wineglass Bay. I think the view from here is way better than the Wineglass Bay Lookout that you can access on this walk, but at the end when you come back up over the saddle. I just love this place. I've got a few photos to print as well. So if you didn't take any photos or you just love the place and you want a nice print for your home, you can grab the images in the description. I'll have a few links down in there, but let's continue on with the video.
None of this is ideal. It's all wet, which is why we're going so slowly. This feels pretty good. We're pretty much good to go. Got some trail mix, which I'll talk about at the end of the video, about all the food, everything that's in the pack. Yeah, I'll have some timestamps in the video, so just jump forwards if you don't care about looking at the actual track itself, or if they're like, it'll be a spoiler, which I totally understand. Just skip to the end. And yeah, we're gonna leave in any second now. Should be fun. We've just topped up the water that we drank after going up Mt Amos, and now we're off. Trail mix, yeah, that's basically the only snack we'll probably have. We might stop at the beach, cook up some noodles, or we just go the whole way through to Cook's Beach and then give you guys a bit of a rundown at the very end on what we thought worked, what didn't work, so you guys can have the best experience possible when you do the walk yourself. Yeah, what they recommend is to go anti-clockwise. They ask that, so we'll be, walking all the way around the Buzzards Beach track, bush toilet, then up to Cook's Beach.
Left.
Yep.
Around the back. Up, down, round. Oh yeah, and then you'd come through.
Yeah.
Over the saddle, day 2.
Yep.
I like that. What's your read?
We've gone, including Amos, 6.18 at this point, and it's just opened up. We've kind of come out of beneath the trees, and now, this is like really nice. Great spot. Like if you're looking for a spot to stop, I'd say this rock right here. You'll know it when you're doing it. Really solid. Yeah, we're just gonna keep pressing on, but just take the view in while we're here.
Real cool. You love Narnia?
Oh, I don't mind Narnia.
That's Freycinet there,
Yeah,
the tall one.
yeah.
Cool.
Whew. All right, time to dig into some hot cup of tea. So we've got our water, our Pro Fuel tank, and adapter. Comes with some extra stuff here. It was all $50 for the contraption, but then the fuel was an extra like 17. You can get a jet fuel, which is smaller canister, which might be more your thing because it's lighter. And then you can buy some titanium stuff as well. So yeah, there's a few different options, but we're just gonna brew up some tea. Unfortunately, I don't have a lid, which kind of sucks. And would you look at that? Calvin's just added a lid for me. You need a Calvin in your life to upgrade. Beautiful. Good to be on the beach. We've got a cool breeze coming through. The sun, I think, says 2.5 hours, 5.5 kilometers from the start of the beach back to the car park along the Hazards track. Probably didn't take us quite that long, but I think give yourself 2 to 3 hours for that first segment. What did you think of the track to the beach?
It's quite smooth, easy walking, little sporadic views, which is nice. Yeah, would recommend.
Sick, and now it's just beach walking for another 3 Ks, I reckon. There's shells everywhere, like this one right here. Really nice. All right, track's up that way. I wanted to see the sign. Stoves allowed.
Hiking allowed, toilets allowed.
Camping allowed.
No chainsaws, no kangaroos, drones, cats.
Yeah. So the walk was pretty, it's what you'd expect, just beach. The views are pretty nice now that we can see a bit more of the hazards, but probably going to be nicer on Wineglass side once we're across this little marshy section tomorrow. For now, that way.
Yeah, that could be a cool one.
Look at this. Really good. So we've been walking just a little bit. It's raining now. A little bit damp. No rain jacket either because we just decided to save some
Trim
weight.
that bag weight.
Which I'm like, it's warm, it's not cold. Yeah, should be fine. Just a little bit of water over it, so we'll just keep powering through.
No regrets.
No regrets, not whatsoever. We're around halfway through the trek now. We've been around 30-35 minutes. The recommended time was an hour and a half, so slightly ahead of that. I reckon a lot of people would be able to walk a lot faster than that recommended time. Someone else, we saw it actually stopped at the beach and set up camp there because they wanted to miss the rain. We just decided to just push through, and it's kind of like it was a little misty just before. There's been a lot of hail, so not as wet as we possibly could have been if it wasn't hail, but yeah, really enjoying it. The scenery has changed so much over the full track. I might drop a few photos in just to show you guys kind of what it's looked like in different sections. But we're probably around 2.5-3 Ks now away from Cook's Beach, which we will get to set up camp, have some food, noodles, pasta, the usual.
Quite warm. Yeah.
It'll be gorgeous.
I hope it's a nice spot for campsite too. I might still do it. Yeah.
I am running off the beach right now, put my camera down. I'm like, get this thing in my bag. It is wet. I'm getting wet. I didn't have a rain jacket with me. It was getting cold. I just wanted to get to the campsite and set up camp. It would have been great to have a rain jacket. So even though I was like, yeah, the forecast is amazing, it's going to be brilliant. It hailed, it rained, it was windy. You can see us later, we're finding a campsite. We kind of just found the first space that we saw and set up. I wouldn't recommend that. I'd recommend taking some time to actually go and scout out the campsite, find a spot, find every spot that you possibly can and go, okay, based on this, where do we want to set up? Because where we originally went was dreadful. Like, I would not recommend anyone stay where we initially set up, but we thought it was our only option because we saw a few other people in different places, just scout it out as Calvin did, and yeah, we ended up moving, which you'll see in just a few moments. So we just pulled up at a spot, we've cleared the ground out. It just started pouring with rain, so we put the camera away, now on my phone, but yeah, we've cleared it out. We're gonna get the tent out, get that set up, and yeah, getting some food, get warm, getting some dry clothes, should be fun. So we're in the tent now. As you can obviously see, Calvin just re-pegged it a little bit. It's probably gonna come in a sec, just tightening things up. I'm munching away on some food. We're gonna do some cooking soon, but it is still raining outside, so we'll suss that out. And then in the morning, we probably won't be doing Mt Freycinet for sunrise, just with the weather. Just take it nice and easy. It'll be more enjoyable that way, especially with the camera. I don't have to rush and put that in a bag straight away. Just make sure that we're all good to go before we start, the next part of the trek, which will be all the way out to the car park. So yeah, should be fun. So I'm currently just waiting for my pasta to finally cook. I've kind of got a bit of the heat still in here. Maybe a little bit too liquidy, but we'll see how it goes. Calvin, not sure where he went, probably looking for the toilet, but yeah, just enjoying this view. It's so incredible.
Look at that.
Oh wow, that would have been gorgeous.
And like all through there, like the whole thing, there's so.
I think
will be less likely to blow away.
Yeah.
I think it's still worth it. It's only 7. Still got hours. Alright, you scoot round to the back.
So Calvin went scouting for a new location and he found this spot, which is so much better than what we had. There's somewhere to tie up a bag, actual grass rather than sand at the base, and then in the morning we'll probably get a bit of a sunrise. We also have straight out that way, we have the toilets, so we're much closer proximity. It basically just meant that we had to carry our tent through all the campsites, which was a lot of fun. But the moral of this story is to scout out your locations first. It was kind of raining a heap and we just found a spot and set up, but we probably should have spent another minute or two finding somewhere to pitch rather than just first spot that we found. Anyway. Yum. Got some noodles. We've got the new campsite. Yeah, life is good. It's not raining. That was miserable. Probably should have brought a rain jacket, but
No regrets.
no regrets, not whatsoever. Oh well. All right, so this morning we have got some water boiling because we want to have some coffee and we also want to have some porridge. So got my cup ready. Calvin has gone to get his cup all sorted. It was a rough night's sleep. I haven't been camping in a little while. My body isn't used to it, but the ground was so much nicer than the other camping spot we had. So so glad for the move. Calvin had this inflatable device that is super compact, and it got a few things flying everywhere, but yeah, like we had a bit of wind, bit of rain overnight, but overall really great. And I think like if you brought enough food, you could actually set up camp here for a few days or maybe just 2 nights rather than just a single. There's so many options, but yeah, I've loved it out here. And we might even just check out the beach one more time before we go and then be on up our way to Mt Freycinet.
Chatted with the guy with the camo tent that was right down on the beach.
Oh, just then?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like, yeah, I didn't pick the right spot, like, with the sand, like, I could barely get the pegs to hold. I was like, yes, that's why we moved.
Day 2, back on track, walking up to Mt Freycinet at the moment. Through to Wineglass Bay, the sign said it was around 6 hours, 11 kilometers. We'll see. It was around 8:20, 8:30 by the time we arrived at that sign. So we'll see if it's around 2:30 by the time we get there, and maybe just how much faster you can actually do it, even including Mt Freycinet as a side trip. And then also how long that takes by itself. Because not everyone wants to climb up an extra few hundred meters to, see the summit there.
We started off the walk along Cook's Beach, backtracking a little bit, then we started walking towards Mt Freycinet. Now, it's pretty much just uphill from here, and we met a dude that was taking a breather after climbing up a fair bit of the first chunk of the hill, but I think that meeting people while you walk is one of the best things about hiking, and that's exactly what we did. We met this guy, Gabe. He came along, he had a bit of a day pack that he brought out, really, really compact. I packed one that was a lot bigger and bulkier, but what he had was probably a better option. We did a bit of a food swap over from our packs to our day packs, and then climbed up Mt Freycinet, which I think it said 750 meters. It felt like way longer than that. So it is a bit of a climb. So if you did Mt Amos at the start, I'd say it's probably the same, maybe a little bit more challenging. It felt like more of a scramble, but this is absolutely stunning. As I said before, I've got 2 views that I really recommend in this whole Freycinet National Park area. One's Mt Amos, one is here from this mountain. So if you can get up here, I highly recommend doing it. And again, I've got a print from the view from up here. You can grab that in the description as well.
Been walking up the summit to Mt Freycinet. We lost the track just for a little bit. but Calv just looked back down the track and could kind of see the markers further off to the distance, so we just walked back to wherever those markers were. So if you've found yourself in a similar position while walking this track, like just backtrack. Common sense, essentially. No need to panic too much, just go back where you came and reevaluate.
That is beautiful. No, I'm ruining it for you guys by sitting in the front.
But before like a lot of these advancements in materials,
My Mt Lookout.
That's beautiful. Freycinet, hazards, Mt Amos, looks absolutely gorgeous. Now on this side, we have an island you may not have heard of. It's called Shootin' Island. Sorry about the wind noise, it is so windy up here. Wow. Oh, it's just lit up. Absolutely gorgeous. I would recommend making the trip up here, but there is one spot that it gets a little dodgy on the walk up. There is a bit of climbing involved. I'll see if I can example a bit of that, videoing it when I'm on the way down, just to go, okay, this is what's required. And if you don't think you can do that, then perhaps it's just best to not even try to come up to start with. But I say if you can do this, well, totally worth it. Well worth coming up.
Not really the trail run this section.
It's good to take in the view once every now and then. We're almost at the top of Mount Graham. All by the way, Calvin's just behind a little bit, just doing some stuff with his pack. Yeah, just plodding along. Now I just wait for Calvin.
Good.
Wow.
10-metre buckle. How's your tent? Oh, let's go for here. Oh, little cave.
It started raining again, so we found this little cave tree. It might only be enough for one.
Sorry, Levi.
No!
It's been nice knowing you.
I'll come up as well.
No, you won't. You're fine.
Mine's still got like the rounded bevel.
It's still going.
Oh, you do it that way for quality.
Oh, it's not ideal, but it does the trick. We have almost made it to Wineglass Bay. Rained down pretty heavily for a little portion. So yeah, we took cover underneath that tree. Then after that passed, this camera went flat. So I put it away and then yeah, had a quick snack on that boulder and the views were just gorgeous. So we wanted to see if we could find another spot with views of Wineglass Bay. We didn't actually find one, but you can kind of see through the trees behind me, you got Wineglass Bay right there. So I think we've just got views of Wineglass now the whole way down. And it is a great way to finish. You got downhill, the terrain's not too bad, pretty easy on the feet. After the rain, it did get slippery in sections, so just take your time. coming down. But yeah, like, oh, this is just beautiful. Looking at the hazards and how they enter into the water. It's just absolutely gorgeous. A really, really fun walk. You could probably camp at the start of Wineglass Bay, show you a bit of that once we're down there. And then, yeah, I'll just say come and do it. If you're thinking about it, it's yeah, well worth it.
It's pretty wild.
Sweet, so I guess we give a really quick tour of the site. Get your bathrooms there. You've got a bit of a spot to camp there. It's pretty like sandy. Bit of your bridge, which is nice. And we've got some company right here. So yeah, this is probably the terrain that you're looking at compared to Cook's Beach, which, yeah, had more grass. Now, it said 6 hours, and we left around 8:30, and it's 2:30. Took us exactly 6 hours. So now we're at Wineglass Bay.
I mean, you can see why it's like one of the top beaches.
That's pretty special. This is it. It's kind of like the pinnacle of the walk. It's awesome seeing mountain views, but I'm like, oh, you just can't beat this. Calv's just up there a bit further. We're just both taking it in, just enjoying it. We got a light breeze over the top of us. Seagulls. The waves are just rolling through. It's quite a nice way to finish a walk. Yeah, we're looking forward to being back, even though it's only been a day. He's got family to be back to. I've got things to attend to Saturday. We'll grab a nice dinner on the way home, maybe some greasy food or something like that. But yeah, that saddle, that's gonna be the last burn for the trip. And then after that, home time, home time. So we're walking up the stairs at the moment, out of Wineglass Bay to the lookout. It's a little painful. Yeah, take a few breaks coming up here. There's just so many stairs. It's one big final push all the way out. Yeah, tiring, tiring. This almost concludes our Freycinet Peninsula Circuit. We're currently coming down from the lookout. It's just a heap of steps. We've got Calvin kind of jogging down in the background. He's pretty keen to get back, as am I. But yeah, there's like this one-way circuit for coming up Wineglass Bay to the lookout. So you go down right and you're basically just not going to encounter anyone on the way down, which is why it feels so empty. But yeah, I really hope you've found something in here useful. I'll probably have some more talking at the end, depending on how I edit the video, just on things that I appreciated, things I didn't, what I would have brought next time, what I would have done differently. So that might be the most valuable part of this video. Yeah, but appreciate you following along. I might not have much more footage from this point because we're pretty keen to just get back. So yeah, thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe, comment, like, comment in particular. I want to actually hear what you guys have to say as well. Have you done the walk before? What would you bring instead of things that I recommend, even in the next part? But yeah, sweet. Peace.
So that's it. What did I appreciate? What did I didn't? What did I bring? What would I recommend? A few thoughts like that. So what did I love about it? Mt Amos and Mt Freycinet in the same walk. Highly recommend. If you've got the time, try to chuck on Mt Amos at the start, but it is pretty hefty in the climb, the elevation. I would also add in a swim. We needed to get back. But if you are not under time pressure, go for a swim at Wineglass Bay, go for a swim at Cook's Beach, maybe even tack on another day. We did this in 2 days. Tack on another day at Cook's Beach, set up camp there, or set up camp at the start of Wineglass Bay and just enjoy a full day there. Bring a book, read, whatever it is you want to do on a hike, that is another option. While I'm here, what I appreciate is that it is pretty flat for most of it, and most of the elevation, if you don't do Mt Amos, is between Cook's Beach and Wineglass Bay over Mt Freycinet and Mt Graham. And Mt Freycinet is optional, so you do not have to do that if you do not want to. You can just skip that, but I do recommend that going up there would be awesome. Another thought that we were talking about, Calvin and I, as we were walking back along Wineglass, is to not do the full circuit, because it was really spectacular just from Wineglass Bay. You could come in over the saddle, walk along Wineglass Bay to the campsite, set up camp there for 1 or 2 days, walk back out. If you've got friends that just absolutely hate elevation, you could do it that way. You could also do the start of the walk, which is kind of around the coastal track, cross over to Wineglass Bay and walk the rest of the length there, which skips over the saddle. There is a bit of elevation in that. That's another way to do the walk as well. Now, what did I not appreciate? My decision to leave a rain jacket behind, that was quite annoying. I was borrowing a fair bit of gear as well, sleeping bag, the pack, and I was unfamiliar with the setup. I didn't bring a sleeping mat. I will mention that now, and I was 100% okay to just sleep on the ground, but that would be the only thing that I didn't appreciate. Now, gear-wise, I've got a photo of all my gear here. I'm gonna overlay this on the screen just quickly. Have a look. It's a pretty bad photo. I'll put Calvin's on as well. And what I brought a pack that I borrowed, brought a sleeping bag, beanie, 2 hiking shoes. Of course, you need 2 shoes. The yellow bag liner as well. That's from MacPack. They cost like $7 or $8. You can get more expensive ones from like Cedar Summit. However, the guy that was selling me that was like, look, this yellow one's gonna do the exact same thing and just do that. I'm like, perfect, I'll go buy that. Toilet paper, oats, bought 4 packets of that. I was under the impression we were doing it for 3 days when we first left, but Calvin was like, no, I need to be back sooner. So I did overpack on my food. I brought 3 packs of trail mix, 1 for each day, 2.5 liters of water. I brought 2 500 ml little flasks that I have for a running vest, and then a 1.5 liter bladder as well that I had connected in. I did have a water bottle that I left behind because I didn't want to carry that extra weight. We had 4 packets of noodles, 4 muesli bars, 2 packets of pasta, the fuel for the burner. I bought this Furno 360 degree kit. That was great. It was from Anaconda for like 60 or 70 bucks. Came in handy. Jet Boil does kind of the same thing. Rain jacket that I left behind. Toothbrush, toothpaste. I bought some Lululemon long pants just because I wanted something for the dry. Brought some socks as well for dry clothes. The black next to the beanie there, sorry, that's a headlight, and then also a dry top. So I had dry top, dry pants, socks, all my dry gear, and I had 1 set for wet gear. Now, would I bring anything else next time? I'd probably cut down on my food. I brought a little too much. Water is great, and I will talk to the water now. You can fill up at the very start of Mt Amos, so if you're drinking any water up and back, you can top up there at the start at the Wineglass Bay car park. You can also top up at Cook's Beach. I don't think there's anything at Wineglass Bay campsite though, so just bring enough, knowing that they're the only 2 points that you can fill up. There weren't any creeks that we would feel comfortable filling up in on the way, at least at that time of the year. Got some Twiggy sticks in there as well. They were pretty tasty of a morning. I did mention at the start that there was another option that wasn't a tour per se, but a way to experience the walk, and that's with Freycinet Experience Walk. I've never done anything with them. I've only seen their Instagram, looked through their website, and it looks like they offer 4-day experience where you can do different parts of the walk across different days. You can do a full loop from where they drop you off by boat. You stay at a lodge, they drop you off, you do a bit of a walk, they pick you up at the end of the day. It's day 2. Day 1, you'd go to Shooten Island, which is something that I mentioned in the video as well, which is a great place to go and explore. Day 3 and day 4 are 2 walks closer to where their lodge is. So you can kind of experience parts of the walk without doing the full circuit and without carrying a massive pack. So if that's more up your alley, they might be someone to go and explore. I'll put their website down in the description below. But guys, thank you so much. If you've watched this whole thing, I think I've rambled maybe a little bit too much. I want to get as concise as possible, but also give you guys as much information as possible. So thank you for watching. If you are still around, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, email us. We'd love to hear your experience of doing this walk, and I really hope that you have a great time in Tasmania. If there's anything that you want us to do a video on, say Cradle Mountain, West Coast, Northwest, if you want to go to the Lavender Farm on the northeast of Tasmania, Little Blue Lake, all of these places, if you want to see a bit more of a inside local knowledge into these places, please let us know. I want to share as much as I can with you guys from what I've learned over my 26 years of being in the States. So again, thank you for watching, and see you in the next video. Peace.